financials. Not an easy week by any means, right? What a frustrating all the way, just terrible, right? But then, with that being said, it's kind of funny. Look where we are when it comes to BlackRock, at least. Where did we start? If you remember, I said anything above 90 or 80, 97 would be a buy. I didn't know we were going to drop all the way to 87 and then close Friday above 97.90 or 8.97. So, again, we are literally a little bit lower than where we were last Friday. So we really didn't do too much of anything. Yes, does this look absolutely horrendous and nasty? Yes, it does. But when you put it in perspective, we're really exact same place we started last week. So it's the same. Anything above 897.06, I am a buyer. I kind of like this because we got everybody out, right? So if you had to hold on, right, you held on here. And then Thursday, you're like, yeah, baby, finally we're doing something. And what made Friday even worse is this how it happened on Friday, because we started way up here, so it looked pretty good. And then we just all the way down. And then the last hour, when everyone probably was crying and turning their computer off and just like frustrated for the week, they bought it right back up. So keep that in mind for this upcoming week. They sucked everyone in Monday. Disappointed. Thursday, they got everybody right back in. Friday, disappointed. But ended positive. Keep that in mind. TROW price, wow. Like all these bad boys got destroyed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, I mean, we're way below where we were. However, look where we are. We're finding our support at the 195 area. I really wouldn't like TROW price until we can get above this 50% right here, which would be the 198.92. Other than that, I mean, this, if you're aggressive, then right here would be cool, but just watch out for this green line at 191. FAS, whew, what a doozy, man. What a doozy. But we all know how scary FAS can be, right? We have this whole entire year, we have seen FAS drop almost 30% in 3 days, whatever. And if you look at it, we kind of did. We went from 150, or let's just go from here, 142 to 118 in what? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 days in like a week. With that being said, all we really need is one big push and we will be right back at new highs. So just keep that in mind. I'm not saying that the selling is over, but if it is over, then overnight this we could be right back at the 43. Like nothing ever happened. So just be very careful with the FAS because it is very, very volatile. I would say anything above this red line, because it's basically the same low of 1013. So we actually broke it. But then we also tapped it again on Friday and held it. So just keep in mind, that's the October 13 low. Really the September low was down here at the 100. But this is the last little low, massive low we had. It's at the 118. Keep that in mind. We bounced right there. BX, man, they were a darling, but they got kind of whacked. However, when you look at this, did they get whacked? Yeah, they did. But where did they get whacked to? Almost a breakout. Right, because we're still above the 100% by 5 points. Momentum is obviously the downside, but until we can break below this 130, it's kind of bullish and expect if it can make it down there, then expect a pretty decent bounce, probably up to 136 before it breaks down to 128 and then breaks down even further to 125. I'm not saying it's not going to happen, but it kind of looks like if, I mean, they pushed and they pushed hard. I'm not talking just on Blackstone. I'm talking about the entire markets. So if the markets continue to just sell off, then yeah, I'd see, hitting the resistance here and then hitting it down to 125. But if the markets are done and ready for the Christmas rally, then I would be a more positive or more aggressive buyer above the 136. Mr. Sachs, Goldman Sachs. Well, that's awkward. How all the other ones were looking terrible. Goldman Sachs is actually, I mean, we knew to this day, Wednesday, would, because it's a $2 dividend. We got destroyed, 390 to 375, so it was what, a 15-point drop. Excuse me. However, the very next day, Thursday, we basically took it back, and Friday, we're still above this teal line of the 380. If this was a telltale sign that this upcoming week is going to be a massive green week, then Goldman Sachs would be the indicator right here, just because of the way that it's shaped, right? How everything else was basically on its lows or at touching its lows. On Friday, Goldman Sachs didn't even get close. Northern Trust. See, Northern Trust is kind of like Goldman Sachs here. They had every opportunity to really kind of roll over, but they didn't. Right? They're starting to build momentum, and we close above the 116.58, which is a key line in the sand. Let's see what KKR did. Now KKR's very frustrating. However, I mean, see what I'm saying? How these are more bearish, and then the last one, NTRS and Goldman Sachs, were kind of making a little bit higher highs or higher lows. This is what I'm referring to. How KKR is basically closing right on its low, so I'd stay all the way away from it until it can get above this 75 mark. Let's talk to Chuck. So Chuck is more in with Goldman Sachs and NTRS. You see, Wednesday we had that nasty day. Friday we started higher, we sold off with the rest of the market, but we're still above the 78.04, which that means we are trying to eye this 82.36 to close this gap coming from the 24th of November. CME Group is actually doing wow. CME is, I would say CME is poised to go up to 234. This one makes the list. CME. As long as there's nothing too crazy in the market, I see we're hitting 234 and with real target 244. Obviously not next week, but within the next coming weeks, 244 will be target. And last but not least, Bank of America. Yeah, I'm good. Dividend day, they have a nice day. Friday we made not new lows because obviously we've been lower, but we broke to the lower side. I'm not digging that. However, we are getting closer to this 120, this 127 extension. So if you were to be a buyer and an aggressive buyer, then this would be a great opportunity. And knowing anything below this 127 is an immediate get out.